Okay, dear students, let me quickly highlight one area in FM. Basically, there are, I would say, two areas in the entire syllabus of FM in which students are making multiple errors and they're making many mistakes. According to the reports of examiner, one is working capital management, another is risk management. And I don't know why they're making so many mistakes, but they're making so many mistakes. Let me tell you, and how easily you can make the mistake, and I will also explain how easily you can overcome those mistakes. I'll give you the I'll explain this with the help of a question from FM pre-scene mock March 2026. Let me share that, and then I'll explain you how students they make mistakes due to, I would say, not having appropriate understanding of the question. See, if you are unable to understand the question, if you are unable to understand what exactly question is asking, so obviously you will end up by making an error, by making a mistake. Fluke, they don't work always. So you need to learn. Let me give you the example. Look at this question: risk management FM pre-scene mock March 2026. Which two of the following, which two which two of the following hedging techniques can be used by Tudor company to protect against a rise in interest rate rise? Another is interest rate. Now, student, listen to me. First, you should be able to understand what exactly question is asking for you. And to answer this question, which I've just read, there's no need to read the scenario. We need to identify two hedging techniques relating to interest rate. Now listen, first of all, you should be able to differentiate which hedging techniques we use for currency risk management and which hedging techniques we are using for interest rate risk management. For example, for currency risk management, we use forward exchange contract, we use money market hedge, we use currency future, we use currency options. For interest rate hedges, regardless I am a borrower or lender, for interest rate hedges, we use interest rate futures, we use interest rate options on futures, we use collar hedge for interest rate risk management. Future interest, we have got future interest rate futures, we have got interest rate options on futures, we have got collar hedge. These are the techniques actually which we use for interest rate risk management. Now another question. Specifically, examiner is asking interest rate, but within that examiner is asking a rise in the interest rate. Now listen carefully, students. Borrower is the one who faces the risk of rise in the interest rate. If any one of us, if any student who's unable to differentiate between currency risk management technique and interest rate risk management techniques, obviously that student is not in a position to answer this question. Second, somehow you have differentiated, then you should be able to understand that examiner is asking that Tudor company is facing a risk of rise in the interest rate. And the company which faces the risk of rise in the interest rate, they are borrower. So now we have to see all the four options. One, we are not going to choose any currency risk management technique. Second, we are going to find out the hedging techniques for interest rate risk management for the borrower. Now let's read it. Money market hedge, absolutely wrong. Money market hedge is for currency risk management. It is not for interest rate risk management. Second, interest rate collar, yes, true. Collar hedge could be for the borrower, could be for the lender. Borrower can go for collar hedge, even the lender can go for collar hedge. So collar hedge is a name of a technique which is for both of them. Obviously, The way borrower is going to make the collar hedge, that is different the way lender makes. In case of borrower, the collar hedge strategy is to buy put option, sell call option. Lender, if I'm a lender, I'm making a collar, so I'm going to buy call option and sell put option. And objective of the collar hedge is to reduce net premium. Because in case of collar hedge, what happens? We buy one option. The option which I'm buying, I'll be paying the premium. The option which I'm selling, I'll be receiving the premium. So the main objective of collar hedge is to reduce net premium. But the main concept is collar hedge can be for the borrower, can be for the lender. So option 2 is absolutely correct. Third, interest rate cap, absolutely correct, true. Why? I'm the borrower, I'm facing the risk of a rise in the interest rate. Logically, I'm going to buy the put option to get the ceiling. Ceiling means, cap means there will be a maximum interest rate for me. Then actual rate could be lower than that, but could not be higher than that. So I'm the borrower. I'll be happy to get the cap. Cap means ceiling of the interest rate. Once I know the ceiling, it means I know what is the maximum interest I'm going to pay. I know that more than that is not possible. Less than that is still possible. So I'm the borrower. I'll go for interest rate cap. And which option gives you the cap? Put option. Interest rate floor, absolutely false here in this question. Why it is false here in this question? Actually, interest rate floor means you want to lock the interest rate at a minimum rate. If I'm the lender, if I'm the depositor, I'll go for the floor, and floor gives me some sort of security that actual interest rate could be higher than that floor rate, but could not be lower than that. But interest rate floor is for the lender. It is not for the borrower. And if I'm the lender, I'll buy the call option, which gives me the floor. But here, question is specifically asking that Tudor company is facing the risk of rise in the interest rate. So students, if someone is unable to differentiate between currency risk management technique and interest rate risk management techniques, obviously that student will end up by making a mistake. Second, if someone is unable to identify that this question is specifically for the borrower, obviously you will not be able to answer. So I hope just by reading this requirement and giving you the explanation, I have made myself very, very clear how to read the question, how to understand it. If you really need this sort of details on each question and this sort of understanding on each question, and of course the understanding of the entire financial management in an easy way, in a unique way, and in order to get the WhatsApp support of my college, which is the best and fastest in the entire world, then you can join our FM course even now as well. So thank you very much that you have listened to this video this far. Thanks a lot. I've given my admin number as well. So that is all about today's small class.